As pastor of St. Paul Lutheran Church, a predominantly black church in Birmingham, Alabama, the Reverend Joseph Ellwanger earned the trust of his congregation, and he quickly caught the attention of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who brought him into his inner circle.
It was a really excellent opportunity for me to grow and to experience the black movement for freedom that is called the Civil Rights Movement of the 1960s. I was given the opportunity to serve on what was called the Central Committee during the demonstrations in 1963 in Birmingham. And that's where I had the opportunity to meet with not only Dr. King, but also the others who were involved in leadership there in the movement and the demonstrations in 1963. Ralph Abernathy and Andrew Young. Just being in that select group was an experience that was really something that shapes your mind and your thoughts in a way that you don't fully realize until later. As I look back some 60 years later, I realize that this involvement with the movement and with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference was the point at which I saw very clearly that as a Christian pastor and as a pastor of a congregation, I need to see that work for justice is what the spiritual and religious community should be about. There are many verses in Scripture that make that clear, but you have to experience that kind of enactment. So doing justice, I learned what that really means in walking with Dr. King and the movement in the 1960s.
He marched with King to advocate for voting rights. He even spoke at the funeral of one of the 4 little girls killed in the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing.
The voting rights campaign in 1965 in Selma had an amazing victory in finally, after the Selma to Montgomery March, the Congress and the President did pass a very strong Voting Rights Act that not only enfranchised thousands of people who previously had not had the opportunity to vote, but what happened was within a couple of years after the passage of the Voting Rights Act, the apparatus that supported Jim Crow and segregation in the South was dismantled. And for that, definitely I'm grateful.
Ellwanger and his wife Joyce moved to Milwaukee in 1967 after receiving a call to pastor Cross Lutheran Church on 16th and Vine. He did so reluctantly.
I really had that pull to stay, but the thing that pulled me to accept the call from Cross Church here in Milwaukee in 1967 was the fact that Cross Church said that they wanted me to come and help them integrate their congregation and reach the community around them. This was a largely 95% white congregation on 16th and Vine that found themselves in 1967 with the community around them not only changing, but pretty well changed.
He continued to struggle for civil rights in Milwaukee, even after retiring from Cross Lutheran in 2001. One of the things he's most proud of is Project Return, a program he designed to help formerly incarcerated people get back on their feet.
Is an agency that seeks to walk with people returning from prison to the community, and it's designed to help returning citizens to have the resources that they need to make a positive return to their homes and to their families, to the community, helping them to find jobs, to find housing, to find the support group that every returning person needs. But it's very encouraging and heartwarming to know that the Project Return still exists and is still doing its job and is about to celebrate its 50th anniversary.
Today, he is concerned that the civil rights movement may be losing traction.
There is the reversal that is happening. The issue of voting rights as an example. What's happening now is voter suppression that people are finding it as difficult or even more difficult to vote now than, say, a few years ago. And we have to definitely push against, because John Lewis once said that the vote is the most powerful nonviolent tool that we have to bring about change in the country.